Hi everyone, my name is Ajay Narayan Naik. I am here to give my second demo on Java Spring Boot project. Here I will create a Spring Boot project. Okay, okay, let's create it. So I am opening my STS project. Here I am giving my workspace and launch it. Here it's taking time. Okay, okay. So to create a Spring Boot project, go to File, New, Spring Starter Project. Okay. So to create a Spring Starter project, the URL is start.spring.io. You can create on web browser. Okay, we will see after creating the project. Okay, first name of the project is Fast Spring App, Fast Spring application. Okay, here the location of my project is ESTS project Fast Spring App. Okay. So there are three different types of automation tool. So we will choose Maven. Maven is used to is a build automation tool. It will automatically add the dependencies and jar files to our existing project. Okay. So the packaging is jar. You can choose jar or war. I am choosing here jar. Here I am choosing Java version is 17, language Java, and the group means which company is developed the project. Okay, here I am giving com.ajay, and here I am giving the version as it is, the description, and the package com.project1. Okay, I am giving it as it is. Okay, so I am clicking next. Okay. Here in the dependency section, I am giving web. Here I am selecting Spring Web because the application needs to connect to the internet, so that I am giving it to create a Spring Boot application, a web application. I am giving Spring Web so that it will connect to the internet, anyone can access. Okay, I am giving Spring Web. Then next, it is giving some by default URL. Okay, I'm finishing it. Okay, we successful now it's creating. Okay, yes, it's created successfully. Fast Spring app. Here in the form.xml we can see the all the dependencies and jar files here. Okay, here I am removing HTTPS. Here we added the Spring web dependency jar. Here in the dependency section, the jar file is added. Maven is used to build automatically the jar files in the pom.xml file. Okay, Maven is a automation tool in the Spring Boot application. Okay, there are some other dependencies like Spring Boot starter test. It is used to test the project, and some other group wide plugins are there in the pom.xml file. Maven is used to handle the pom.xml file. Okay, we created it by using STS project. We can create it by using Google. or any browser. So in the browser section, search start.spring.io. Yes. Okay. Click on Spring Initializer. Yes. In the Spring Initializer, here we can create the Spring Boot project. Okay. Uh, it's giving the project. Now we want to create the project, that is Maven. I already did created the project. Now I'm giving how to create it in the browser. The project is Maven. We already created. The language is Java. We need to select a stable version, that is 3.3.3. Here in the project metadata section, we need to give the group name. That means the company the provided it or created it. com.aj, suppose I am created. The name is Spring Boot application. Suppose Spring Boot demo. I created the name. I have given the name and description as it is. Package. I'm changing the package. The packaging is jar and the Java is 17 version. Here in the dependency section, we need to add the dependencies, the required dependencies to create the Spring Boot project. In the dependency section, click on the add dependencies. Here I am selecting Spring Web. That means it will create the Spring Boot web project here. Spring Web. It is it's already added in the section. Here I am removing all the dependencies, only adding the Spring Web dependency. Okay, to make a Spring Boot web application, we added Spring Web dependencies. Okay, to create the Spring Boot project, click on Generate. Look at here. Here it's created the project zip file of that project. Okay, the zip file name is artifact name is MongoDB auth. That is the zip file name. Okay, it's already created. We can import it in the STS section. Go to File, then click on Import, then go to Maven and click on Existing Maven project, and here we can give the folder path of the folder, then click on Finish. We can create it by using start.spring.io website. Okay, here we already created it. Okay, now our first Spring app project is already created. Okay, let's run it. Okay, there are few commands in Maven, so okay, let's execute it. Go, project run as Maven build. Okay, here in the goal section, type clean. Clean is a command in Maven. Run it. Okay, save the application. Run it. Clean means it will delete all the previous not necessary files. Okay, create. It will clean the project. Okay, then we will see some another commands of Maven. Okay. Okay, let's see the another command of Maven. Okay, go to the project, right click on the project, run as Maven build, type install. It will install all the necessary jars in our Maven, in our Spring Boot project. Okay, copying one resources, compiling, okay, testing it, running, yes, 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 it build success. It successfully downloaded all the jar files, all the required jar file in our project. Okay, now go to the project, right click on it, run as Maven build spring boot spring-boot colon run. Okay, let's run it. Scanning the project, all the jar files. Okay, look at here. Initializing Spring embedded web application. We selected the web dependency. Here in the section, Tomcat started on port 8080. Tomcat is a default server in the Spring Boot application. Look at here, started fast Spring application here. That means our Spring Boot project is successfully created and run. Okay, so we can check it here as well. In the dependency section, when we added the Spring Web dependency, here it's showing build web including REST API application using Spring MVC uses Apache Tomcat as the default embedded container. Our web application, to run the web application, we need a server. Apache Tomcat is the default embedded server in our Spring Boot application. It will automatically run, or it is automatically runs as the default server. Okay, we successfully created a project and run it on STS project. Okay, what are the commands we have run right till now? Okay, in the Maven is nothing as the build. Maven is the build automation build the required build automation tool, okay, which adds all the required jar and dependencies to the project. Okay, in the pom.xml file, inside the pom.xml file, okay, inside pom.xml file, it will add all the necessary jar files or dependencies file inside the pom.xml. Okay, here are the few commands in Maven. Okay, first one is clean. We already did it. Clean. Then second one is install. Okay, third one is Spring Boot colon run. to run and test the application. Okay, we successfully completed or run the application, and uh, what we did, the Tomcat server is the default embedded server in the Spring Boot project. So we no need to add any external server because there is already a default server, that is Tomcat, which is running behind the project. Okay, it will automatically run the project. The port of the Tomcat is 8080. Although we can change the server, okay, in the application where we can change. Okay, wait just a second. Where is the application dot properties? Just give me a second here. In the src slash main dot resources, in the application dot properties, we can change the port. Okay, Spring port. Okay, so port server dot port. Okay, here we can give 8081. It will run on the port 8081. Okay, let's save the project. Okay, clean the project. Okay, it will add all the required files and save the files. Okay, right click on it, run as maven build spring-boot colon run. Okay, we can run the project. Okay, let's see what happens. Here is attaching all the required files. Okay, let's see. Initializing Spring Boot project. Here Tomcat started on port 8081. We did it in the application.properties file. We can set the port number by our own. Okay, here I have given 8081 so that Tomcat started on the port 8081. Okay, so we created the fast Spring application and run on the Tomcat server. Okay, here we successfully run the Spring Boot project on Tomcat 8081. Here the default port of Tomcat is 8080. I set it on application.properties file. I set the server port is 8081. Okay, you can set it manually. Okay, so Tomcat is started and running. So okay, now we need to access the project is running or not. We need to access it on the browser. Okay, how to access it? To access it, how to access? To access is http colon. It is running on our local machine, that is localhost. The port is 8081. Okay, the by default port is 8080. Okay, I set it 8081. Okay, so the whole URL is http colon slash slash localhost because it's running in my local machine. Okay, then the port number. Okay, here is the whole URL. Okay, let's go to the browser and hit it. Okay, http colon slash slash localhost colon 8081. Okay, here the output came. Okay, Here it's successfully running. Okay, let's see. Okay, here the Tomcat server is running. Here I am terminating the server. Okay, here I terminated the server. Now check it on the browser. Let's refresh it. See, here is the here the server is not running. That's why it's not connecting. It's given error page. Okay, so to run the project, we need to start the server, then run it. Okay, let's first refresh the project. Okay, let's run again. Go to Maven build, clean spring hyphen boot colon run. Let's run two commands at a time. First clean the project and run the Spring Boot project. Okay, then hit run. Let's see what happens. Scanning the project, compiling, recompiling. Here, starting initializing Spring. Tomcat started on port 8081. Okay, let's check it on the browser. Let's refresh it. Here it's not giving an error page. Okay, it's output. It's giving an output. We have not set any output like any template to print it, any HTML code. We have not written it. Okay, that's why it's giving an error label. Okay, here the application successfully run. Okay, here in the src slash main slash java section, all the Java related code presented here. Okay, that is fast spring application. Okay, let's see. Here is the main method, public static main method. Here is the run method, spring application dot run method. The annotation at the rate spring boot application is the entry point of the spring boot project. Okay, that by default, okay, that by default contains three main annotation, that is spring boot at the rate spring boot configuration. Here you can see at the rate enable auto configuration and at the rate component scan. These are the three main annotations that is available inside the spring boot application. Okay, that means at the rate spring boot application contains all the three annotations. Okay, that is the entry point of the spring boot application. Okay, the src main java that is used to run and code the java related project. Okay, here in the src main resources section, here in the static section, we can we can give the some html, css or javascript code, static code. Okay, then in the application properties section, we can set any port, application, like application related content. Okay, in which port it is running, what is the URL, what is the server, anything that is inside the application.properties section. Okay, here in the static section, okay, let's create a HTML file. Okay, let's right click on it, new file. So I am giving the file name is index.html. Okay, hit enter. here in the index.html file, I'm giving hi everyone. I'm writing some content. Hi everyone. Here I added some content, that is, hi everyone, I am Ajam from Odisha. This is my Spring Boot project which is running on port 8081. Okay, let's save it. Okay, okay, then go to project, clean all the project. Okay, go to and refresh the project. Right click on the project, run as Maven build. Then, okay, just a second. Here I will stop the server first. Okay, so that it will easy to show. Okay, run as Maven build. Here I am running two commands at a time. Clean spring hyphen boot colon run. Then hit enter. Run the project. Okay, let's see. Here it's compiling the project. Here Tomcat started on port 8081. Okay, okay. Now the Tomcat server is running 8081 on our local machine. Okay, so go to the browser. Let's search again. HTTP colon localhost colon 8081. Okay, let's hit enter. Look at here. The content is showing the static file. Whatever I have written in the static file, the index HTML file, that is printed here. Hi everyone, the content, whole content. That means whatever we this port. Okay, what is my port? This is the port. This is the whole URL. Okay, this is the whole URL. When we run the URL, the localhost search for the port, that is 8081. Okay, then it is directly going to the it will search for the static file. Okay, here I have given index.html. Okay, whatever is written in the static file, that will run and print it. Okay, here I have added some content and printed it. Okay, so I have successfully run the project and done it. Okay, here I can add more static content, that is index, that is HTML content or CSS content. Okay, in the form.xml file, the Maven is configuring or handling everything, that is adding or configuring the char or dependencies. Okay, this is a normal Spring Boot project. I have done it. Okay, so I have successfully created a Java Spring Boot project and run the project on port 8081. Tomcat is the default embedded server, and that's all I have. Yes, thank you.